He's...
Booburrito also sounds like a drink.
It does.
A booburrito? Like, would that be something you would get at a strip joint then?
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, it would be like
a mojito, but in a boob-shaped glass.
Yeah, it's like actually two glasses in one.
Yeah.
And like it's like kind of standing on the nipple, if you can imagine that.
Yes.
Like two nipples, and it's like yeah. And so you kind of like drink it with a buddy.
You drink it with a buddy, and then like in order to have it like stand up, you put it into like a bra, like sort of like thing.
Yeah, the
Bra
saucer
for your booberitos.
This saucer is like like a bra. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Brilliant.
All right. So that's the cold open.
Yeah, we're keeping that in.
We're keeping that in.
Oh, we're recording.
Yeah. Hi.
Well then.
Hi. So.
Hello.
Welcome to Paragade After Hours, a podcast where we talk about nerdy shit, video game shit, and a lot of times, like, there is that gay undertone. I am joined, of course, as every week, with Mael.
Hello.
And then we have our other special guest star who sometimes comes in and then starts talking about Zelda and also other bad games. Brandy!
Hello, it is I.
Hi, how you been?
I'm exhausted. I don't like summer classes, and I wish school was over, but it's never gonna be over, so okay.
You know, and how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm surviving.
Surviving.
So today, we're drinking, well, primarily Guinness. I'm, of course, drinking whiskey, as I always do. As the host, I feel like it...
I'm sorry, I wanted to finish one before we started.
I hope, like, that shows up.
Yeah,
You just hear me chugging and slurping my beer.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I've never heard someone both chug and slurp a beer at the same time.
It's so fizzy. I feel like if I'm just like, gulp, gulp, then like all I'll be able to do is burp for the rest of the podcast.
So...
Take it slow.
So, yeah, that's what we're drinking today. So that we can go ahead and get adequately sauced enough to talk about our main topic, which is going to be Hyrule Warriors. So...
It's back.
Alright, so... I did play a whole lot of Hyrule Warriors, and played Hyrule Warriors.
I did.
You played a lot of Hyrule Warriors.
I play too much Hyrule Warriors.
Alright, so we're going to start off with you, Brandy, as the guest.
Yes.
Describe to us what Hyrule Warriors is.
Hyrule Warriors is a travesty to the Zelda series, but I'm behind it 100%. Like, it's just a brilliant game. I love it a lot. It's basically what the title is. It's Dynasty Warriors with Zelda characters. So you just run around, being your favorite Zelda characters, smashing tons of enemies in one hit because it's not that difficult, but you're just managing the whole battle scene. You're going here and you're going there, and then you get a new weapon and a new outfit, and that's the motivation to keep going.
That's the motivation, as is mostly the motivations of like any games. Is like, I want to look pretty.
Yes, I just unlocked this outfit for Girahim, and he looks like a butterfly. And it's beautiful.
I'm sorry, he looks like a what?
A butterfly. Like, he's just very, very colorful. He's very vaporwave.
Oh, no!
Yep. I have not taken that outfit off him since.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
Wow,
so
that's
good.
gay.
Yeah, it is very gay. It's probably the gayest thing I've ever seen.
Damn it. Alright,
Yeah.
Since you're the other one who played this game, how would you describe Hyrule Warriors?
I mean, honestly, Brandy hit on the only points that there really is to it, is that it is, if you like Dynasty Warriors, but you also like the aesthetic of Zelda and its characters, there you go, play this game.
Basically.
I am not a fan of Dynasty Warriors. I find the gameplay to be just kind of boring. Mainly the thing is like, I don't see this as like an atrocity to the Zelda series. Like, I recognize that it's a spin-off, and it already does better than some of the mainstays of the Zelda franchise,
It's
like
true.
Hourglass, Phantom Hourglass. So like, it's already doing much better than Phantom Hourglass. So like, give it a pass. Like, it's whatever. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the Dynasty Warriors gameplay, because I always feel like all of my soldiers are incompetent wussasses.
They are!
And, like, so I'm just having to do everything in the war, and I'm just like, maybe I could just hire like some actual competent hero like
but
warriors.
you're the general.
But like the generals,
you're not a one-man army.
Okay,
that's basically what they turn you into.
And that's the thing is that like generals are not supposed to be on the front lines.
I'm supposed to be sipping a martini in my tent while y'all take care of it.
Yeah, like okay, if they gave us like some sort of like Risk-esque game,
They did.
Which wait,
yeah, like in Dynasty Warriors, that actually does exist.
But I meant like for the Zelda franchise.
Okay, if they did.
That'd be kind of fun, where you could play Risk, but it was like Hyrule.
Yeah.
Like that would be really interesting. And yeah, like I understand that Dynasty Warriors does have another like
Wouldn't
some
that just
other
be Fire
elements.
Emblem?
Well, you know, shit. Well, now this comes to the point of
all the boxes.
where I have to say, why can't we have so we have like Fire Emblem Heroes now, Fire Emblem Warriors.
Yeah.
Why can't we have a like Fire Emblem style game, but it's Zelda characters? Like that would be fucking rad. They already have the IPs to both of those things. They don't have to do any extraneous contracts. They can just make the two things kiss and produce a baby, and everyone would lose their fucking mind.
They really would.
So yeah, in conclusion, Dynasty Warriors not for me. I guess I did kind of enjoy playing this game in only the sense that I wanted to play as Princess Agatha, and I got a chance to play as Princess Agatha, and that's about it. I really love my bug princess. That's it.
She is a little angel.
She's my baby girl.
She's
and I
actually
love her.
really hard to fight against. I'm not really used to playing her. I was like thrilled that I could play as Girahim, but like whenever she gets put up against you, you're like fuck. Like every single time she got that umbrella, and she's like. Pew! Yeah, she's like the Princess Peach of that game. Just knocks the fuck out of you.
I just absolutely adore Agatha.
Fun.
And Twilight Princess, I would say, is one of my like medium. Like, it's not a terrible game as some people think as far as the Zelda franchise.
Yeah.
And then there's other people who praise the grounds that it walks on.
Yeah.
I'm like, Twilight Princess is a medium Zelda game to me, but 100% the best thing of Twilight Princess and the best thing to come out of the Zelda franchise is Princess Agatha,
and that
hands
bug
down.
hunting.
You sure it's not thick Midna?
No.
She's in Hyrule Warriors too, fun fact.
Yeah.
Princess Agatha, though.
Okay. All right.
Like,
that's fair. That's fair.
Cause like, yeah, like I mean, thick Midna is fantastic, but you only get to see her for like a cutscene.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta get Hyrule Warriors so you can play as Thick Midna. Just be like, wham, wham, you with the bridge.
Well, Midna is always thick. That's the
but like,
well, I feel like when everyone talks about thick Midna, it's specifically the humanoid.
Oh, I was talking more of the imp one.
Well, Imp Midna is like Imp Midna.
Why? Yeah,
I like her.
I mean, I know, I love her.
I love her. She is cute.
Yeah.
But like
You said
Princess Agatha though.
Yeah.
And also thick Midna.
She literally takes out a bridge and hits you with it in that game.
Oh, that's so
It
great.
blew my mind. I was like, whoa! I like dropped my controller.
But can she crush me with her thighs?
Yes.
I believe that she can.
I'm pretty sure she can.
I mean, yes, but does she in the game?
No.
Unfortunately, no.
Crush my head between your thighs, my queen.
So Hyrule Warriors, 0 out of 10, not enough head crushing between thighs.
So anyway, so alright, so Hyrule Warriors, like, yeah, it's this weird little spin-off, and it's interesting because it's like one of the first times that like Nintendo really did kind of let like a third-party studio just go wild with that.
Yeah, they sure fucking did.
And
Lana.
like, they went ahead, they're like, go ahead, inject a fucking Vocaloid into it. Go ahead. Like, make the main character have giant Gazanga boobaroos. Booberitos.
Sia and her booberitos.
Oh my god, like, it was like one of the few times, like, or one of the first times in a long, long time that Nintendo trusted another company enough to really go ham with something.
Yeah, I can't think, can you guys think of any other examples in which, Nintendo's actually done that with a different company?
That's just it, is that, like, not recently. Because, I mean, it was like in the early 2000s, like, you had a bunch of other, like, companies and stuff still doing things like Mario Strikers, or like doing like Capcom was still doing a few Zelda games.
Yeah.
But that was just it. Is that like Capcom was doing Zelda games within the typical Zelda formula?
Yeah, I would say that there's things like the Capcom Zelda games. The Metroid Prime is done by
Retro Studios.
Retro Studios. And going back to like the Rare days.
Yeah.
Rare was technically like, I guess you could kind of call them a second party developer because Nintendo had bought their shares.
Right. Yeah.
So there was a point where Nintendo was kind of almost owning Rareware up until the buyouts from Microsoft.
R.I.P. in peace, Rare.
Yeah, so I would say that, we have instances of, these kind of mainstay titles being released by third-party companies. But this, I think, is one of the few times where we really have that true spin-off of a series, and not just a sports spin-off, because we got plenty of Mario sports spin-offs, but this was like a completely different type of spin-off coming out of Nintendo and a third-party developer.
And it was really interesting because it's like that also kind of like, I don't know if this really did open the doors, but it felt like it opened the doors to something like Mario and Rabbids happening, and that like Mario and Rabbids was a fantastic game. And, like, just a lot of other developers getting their hands into, like, this
classic titles.
Yeah, these classic titles. And putting their own spin on it, which I would like to think that, like, hey, some of those developers who maybe worked on, like, Hyrule Warriors went on to work on Breath of the Wild to be like, hey, I'm adding my expertise to this.
Right.
I.e., I'm going to design Urbosa because, if we're gonna...
I do have to say, I could probably... I would assume that one of the people who had a role in Hyrule Warriors had a chance to design, like, the Gerudo characters for Breath of the Wild, because, Urbosa is made of the same, like,
sex
DNA.
appeal.
Yeah, the same sex appeal as a Dynasty Warriors female character.
Yes,
and I'm living for it.
Yeah.
So, I guess the other question I would like to kind of ask in regards to this game, I'll start with Brandy and then M again.
Yeah.
So, in terms of kind of what it added to the Zelda formula, like what it kind of, it went ahead and said, like, well, Zelda doesn't necessarily need to be X. It can be different from X.
Yeah.
Do you think it really added more to the conversation of Zelda, or was it purely fan service?
I mean, for me personally, I would love to see things like Hyrule Warriors be implemented into a Zelda game, where you possibly could have the element of going into a battle if you wanted to look at more of if we take a turn away from Breath of the Wild, which I hope we don't do for a really long time. It's a brilliant game. But if in the future we do take a look at a Zelda game and think, we want to bring in large-scale battles for this Zelda game and for the plot of a new game, I would be really interested to see that kind of layer be brought in and kind of echo what Hyrule Warriors accomplished with that. As far as like I think it definitely added to the conversation for Zelda. I love Hyrule Warriors. I love it. I know that it's not. It is what it is. It does what it does well, and it doesn't pretend to be anything else, which is just basically a glorified Dynasty Warriors with a different kind of
skin,
with a different skin. So it doesn't pretend really to be anything else. You get the classic, like, unlocking character outfits, new weapons, new areas. You get new characters added in every time. There's a new. I'm actually really hoping we could see Breath of the Wild characters in it if it continues with its popularity. But that's what I really like about it, is that it's a kind of game, it's almost like Smash in that you can just continue adding a roster of characters to them as they come out. Because, I've bought every single copy on every, I had it for the Wii U, and I was like, this is great! And then I got a 3DS, see, y'all convinced me to, and, the last time we went to Swamphead, and I got it on that, and I was like, why did I do this? And so I would just have all this effort poured into, whatever system they brought it out on. But I really hope that they do stick with the one on the Switch, and that they really,
just add more
to it. Yeah. And I definitely believe that it did add more to the Zelda conversation, because we'd never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So while I think that this game is entirely fan service, and that's just all it is.
It's true.
It really is. It's like, oh, all these characters that you know and love, plus some other random ones we threw in, but mainly the ones you know and love.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I think about is that I don't think it's just a conversation about Zelda, but just a conversation about Nintendo, and particularly the Switch. So this was obviously made first on the Wii U, but porting it and making the definitive edition for Switch is actually a solid move as far as proof of concept to other possible developers. Yeah. Because I don't know about you guys. You guys played a lot of Zelda or a lot of Nintendo consoles.
Yeah.
Do y'all ever notice that when more than one character ever appears on screen in on any console, that it just immediately starts to lag? And this is particular about Nintendo consoles.
Yeah.
When you get more than 5 players on a screen.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it starts to lag like a motherfucker. One of the reasons why in the current Smash, not the Smash Ultimate that's coming out soon, but the current Smash that is currently released, there's no ice climbers because 8-player Smash was introduced and 16 sprites on screen was not possible. God. They actually pretty much announced that the reason why they excluded ice climbers was because 16 characters on screen was physically impossible as far as hardware and processing power goes. And this is something that's been common with Nintendo hardware since the dawn of time. More than 15 sprites on screen crashes the game. More than 8 polygons crashes the Nintendo 64. Everyone knows this to be true, especially hardcore Nintendo fans. So to make something like a Dynasty Warriors game and putting it on Nintendo hardware is a proof of concept of hey, we can actually put multiple characters on screen and not have the screen just start to lag and lag and lag. And while the Wii U and the 3DS might be more of a moot point, it is very important that we have that proof on the Switch that the Switch is capable of handling that, especially because it is both a home console and a portable. Yes. So that's when I see something like Hyrule Warriors, and I see a lot of the ports that are coming to the Switch and have been put on the Switch, those are proof of concepts to other potential developers of, hey, the Switch can run this. The Switch can run Unity.
Please believe in us. Give us your beautiful games.
Yeah, and especially after what happened with the Wii U. This is proof to hey, the Switch can run Unity. The Switch can run Unreal. Yeah. The Switch can run multiple characters at once. Yeah. And Smash Ultimate is reintroducing the Ice Climbers. Yep. Because they have that capability now. Yeah. And I think that that's the key takeaway from Hyrule Warriors. It's fan service, and it doesn't really contribute much, in my opinion, to the Zelda franchise, but it contributes just a little bit of something for Nintendo that maybe a lot of customers don't see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really do appreciate there is these wildly different takes on that. In particular, starting with your take, it is really cool that, hey, a developer, say, Epic, saw, oh, fucking, they can run Hyrule Warriors on this little portable console? Fuck it, let's bring Fortnite to there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't tried that already, quite frankly,
What, Fortnite to the Switch?
Yeah.
It's on the Switch.
Wait, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing it on the Switch.
I thought you were playing it on your phone!
No!
You're on the phone!
I do! I linked my account!
I don't know anything about
Oh
Fortnite.
my god! Anyway.
Just head in his hands. Son of a bitch, Brittany.
That was a big deal! That was a huge deal!
Joe wouldn't stop screaming about it for 3 freaking weeks. You work with him.
I block out a lot of
Oh my god.
He's all the wasted words. All right. Well, that's good to know. Anyways, continue. Noted.
Anyway. yeah, so it is like a good proof of concept, like saying like, hey, like this game that is not only like, it has like, these many models on like the map and stuff, but they're highly detailed models. These are models that are stylized. These are models that actually do have, like, they don't just look like PS2 CGI models.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're actually like fairly decent, and it does like display the capability of this console.
Yeah.
And like them being able to bring this to a portable console, not just like, the 3DS, where the 3DS, it would still lag, but then also bring it to the Switch and then be like, yo, it's still running pretty well, and you can run it at 1080p on a fucking, TV, and then also display it on a 720p screen on portable mode.
Yeah.
Like, that's really, really cool. And I think that you're right. It adds a lot more to the Nintendo conversation as well.
Yeah.
And it does add to the capability that, like, Nintendo is working closely with third-party developers, working closely and saying, like, hey, here's our design documents. Here's how to develop on this console. Here's how we can do a better relationship with each other.
Yeah, totally.
And then, going to, like, your, like, what it adds to the Zelda conversation.
Yeah.
I would love.
Right?
I would love to see, like, that sort of Kingdom Hearts moment.
Yes.
Like, from Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, where there is this giant epic battle.
Yeah.
And, like, you get, like, a super-powered Master Sword or something
Yes.
like that. And it's just, like, it's temporary. You know it's only for this battle. But it's,
Yeah.
like, you mow down
Yes.
just, like, Bokoblin after Bokoblin.
Exactly.
And it's
Yeah.
just, like, like, yes, like, the fact that, like, Hyrule Warriors introduces, like, Zelda can be that over the top.
It can, yeah.
Zelda can be a little bit more anime.
Yeah.
Like, that, and that's the best way to describe it. It's like, it could be more anime.
Yeah, it could. Yeah.
And that Nintendo's willing to play ball. Nintendo's
Yeah.
willing to step out of that comfort zone. That I think they really established that comfort zone with like Skyward Sword, especially
Oh,
of like
God, yeah.
we have this little bubble that we put Zelda in,
Yes.
and we don't remove it from that. Like this was Nintendo's way of saying no. We're popping that bubble. We're
Yeah.
stepping out of our comfort zone. Let's have fun with our IPs again.
We gave Zelda mechs! We
Yeah.
gave Zelda mechs
Yeah,
in
yeah.
fucking Breath of the Wild!
Yeah,
I
they
mean-
really broke a lot of boundaries with Breath of the Wild, and I...
And
like,
Hyrule Warriors,
Hyrule Warriors,
and I think,
and
and all of these games, like, and including like Mario Odyssey and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is Nintendo saying we want to have fun with our IPs again.
Yes.
Like, we want to be able to experiment, and we want to be able to, like, let developers know, and not just, like, third-party developers, but maybe even internally, like, let them know, like, go wild.
Yeah.
Do your thing. Like, invigorate, like, this, fucking IP, because maybe after getting told for so long between, like, the Wii and then the Wii U telling them, like, you're doing the same shit again and again and
Yeah.
again and again.
They
and
finally took that feedback.
they finally took that feedback,
Ran
and,
with it.
like, aesthetically, they ran with it. Gameplay-wise, it's like... It's like Breath of the Wild, it definitely breaks a lot of Zelda conventions that have been established for like 20 years, but then Mario Odyssey really doesn't. It's just like, we're back to Super Mario Sunshine. But but okay, I'm stepping back on this because while on one hand it kind of doesn't. It does a lot of aesthetic things really outside of Nintendo's box.
Yeah.
And that's really good. Like, that is still really good. And I'm glad that they're going back to that sort of experimental, like, Super Mario. Because the whole thing is, like, the way I kind of look at Odyssey is, in a weird way, I kind of look at it as The Force Awakens. Like, we're going back to, we're doing Super Mario Sunshine because that was super experimental and that was super weird. And after this, we're gonna go really weird with, like, fucking Mario.
I feel like, though, the Force Awakens is more like New Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Because New Super Mario Brothers is, hey, we're going back to the old school 2D,
Yeah.
It's 3D, it's 2.5D, as some people put it. It's 3D, but it's on a 2D plane.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're going back to the old school, the way it was before Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
And Odyssey is like the Last Jedi.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, we still gonna fuck with it.
You can be a tree.
Yeah.
You can be a treat.
You can be whatever you want. In fact, we gonna go back to that, that Super Mario 64 good. We're gonna go back to that Super Mario Sunshine. We're gonna go back to that good, and you're gonna have fun.
You're gonna love it.
Because I should say, it's like, I feel like Nintendo does thrive a lot more in, like, its experimental areas. It does thrive a lot more when it does go ahead and like, because I mean that's always kind of what has been like Nintendo's shtick.
Yeah.
Since like the N64 is like just doing new weird shit.
What's going on here?
3 grips and also what is this 3D platforming? It's like Sonic did this in Sonic 3D Blast and it fucking sucked. And then you play Super Mario 64 back in like 1996 and you're like, this is really great. And now you play it back in fucking 2018 you're like, this is garbage!
This is the worst!
But
those are some fighting words. I know so many people who are like Nintendo 64 and Super Mario 64 are the best Mario game in all time and how dare you curse its name.
Y'all can suck my dick.
I have not played a lot of Mario games, but I did play Mario 64 when I was younger, and it blew my mind. I do like it a lot, but I don't have a lot of Mario experience in general, but yeah.
But I will say this.
Frustrating as hell.
Like, I went back to play, like, Mario 64. Doesn't control well. It really doesn't.
It really does not.
It really doesn't. But you know what does control well, and what I will still say kind of stands toe-to-toe with, like, the control scheme of fucking Odyssey? Sunshine. Wow. Sunshine controls way better than 64, and I am willing to stand on that fucking hill and fight off everybody and be like, Super Mario Sunshine was the best Mario game of all time.
Spray them off the edge.
I know so many like Mario diehards who just think that Sunshine was wonky and janky and that 64 was the best. And you know, I just stand over here like Odyssey combines the best of both worlds. It combines the comfortable and fun and experimental gameplay of Sunshine, where it's comfortable and fun to move around, with all of the ingenuity of Super Mario 64.
The crazy fucking jumps.
Anyway.
You gotta jump.
Speaking of wonky jank.
Oh boy.
Oh, we're going to move on to the second topic.
Oh, my favorite.
It is our favorite topic.
My favorite.
Whereas I did not have much experience with Hyrule Warriors and you two did. M did not have much experience with this game other than watching me play this game. Let's talk about Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, yes.
Alright. So.
Oh, I love it.
So, Brandy.
I'll die with this game.
Being the one who will most likely like take this game with her into the next life. Tell us about Dragon's Dogma.
I fucking love Dragon's Dogma. My friend Sky recommended it to me when I had finished. We were kind of on a downhill with Monster Hunter. We had just kind of plateaued and done everything that you could possibly do. She looked at me and was like, you know, there's like a game that's kind of like Monster Hunter, but with like dragons in medieval times. And I was like, She was like, just play the demo. I'll download on my PS3. Play the demo. Let me know what you think. And I fucking loved it. I played that demo like 3 times at her house that night. It's basically... Oh, it's so hard.
It's Proto Monster Hunter World.
It basically is. Yeah. I mean, you start out, you get chosen by a dragon, he rips your heart right out of your freaking chest and is like, go talk to some people and then kill me if you dare. You just go through this, and it's just so much wild philosophy behind it, and I really just, to this day, I haven't really dwelled on that. I just love dual swords. I love the mechanics for the combat. The characters are barely fleshed out, and their voice acting is just better than Skyrim. I'll say that. In my opinion.
But it's still an atrocity.
It's still an atrocity, but it is better than Skyrim because they hired more than 2 voice actors.
Yeah.
But no, I really like it. I loved what my weapon was so much. I literally haven't even gone back and played any other weapon.
Right.
And I could. I mean, I've played the game like 3 times, but that's just how well I think that they did with the game and the gameplay. It's frustrating at times, but I mean, every bad game is. It's just a perfect game.
Can I just say that my favorite part about like Skyrim voice acting is the fact that it's the same 2 voice actors, but this guy is a little bit more British. Yeah, that's about it.
You've got basically the guy that does all the Imperials and all the guys that do the Stormcloaks, and they just stick to their thing.
That's it. Yep.
These are my guns.
So my introduction to this game, I feel like when I was living in the Bronx, a lot of my Monster Hunter friends, they were super obsessed with this game.
Yes.
And they really liked this game.
Seems to be like a trend. It's the kind of people they were looking for.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And like, I skipped out on this game. Like, you know, I went ahead and bought Mass Effect 2 instead on the PS3, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna play this game. I'm gonna
keep going with this.
And, but then, like, moving down here to Orlando, and then you guys were like, yo, Dragon's Dogma, though!
Dragon's Dogma!
And I was like, alright, I guess I'll get it. And I got it on the PC, and...
Oh, I didn't even know you could get it on the PC. That's pretty cool.
That's where I was streaming it from! I told you about this!
I know, I didn't know.
This time, on Brandy does not watch our streams.
I watch your streams, I just don't know where you're streaming it
Alright, anyway. So got it on the PC. And the thing about the PC port that I'm a little bit disappointed by, and I think this kind of touches upon like the whole weird sort of like, you know, twists and turns like this story can take.
Yeah.
It's missing all the Berserk armor. Because this game was inspired by Berserk.
It's missing the Berserk armor?
Yeah, they lost the license to use that.
Oh, no.
So, it used to be that you could get, like, the Black Swordsman armor so you can look like fucking, Guts.
Yeah, and then they've got the Griffith armor.
Yeah. So, the PC version does not have that.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
I know, and I haven't found a mod where you can just put it back in.
You know, I really just have to say that it's very hilarious to me that there are so many jank things that come out of
inspired by Berserk.
Yeah, like things that are jank and are inspired by Berserk. Let's name a few. Dragon's Dogma.
Dark Souls. The entirety of Dark Souls.
The entirety of it.
Bloodborne. Like in Bloodborne, I think there's literally a character that they just pulled the name for Berserk and they were just like, that's mine now.
Oh my
That's
God.
ours now.
And like fucking like anything like fucking what's his face? He has the same name as the famous director who did Miyazaki. Fucking
anything that Miyazaki does, the creator of Dark Souls, is literally just like ripped from Dark Souls from
Berserk.
He's just like, remember how great Berserk was? Anyways, here's my new game. Like, just puts it on,
yes,
like...
and just anything he touches is like Berserk, and then like this game. It really does feel like it feels like they were trying so hard to ape Berserk.
Yeah,
like they were trying so hard to be like edgy storyline. He ripped your heart out.
Yeah,
shit.
It's so edgy, and
it
like
really is.
At least with like Berserk, it has like kind of like this atmosphere to back it up. I'm not quite sure if Dragon's Dogma has that atmosphere.
So with like Berserk, in its atmosphere and stuff. Because we're also going to get to this conversation now. Because you can't talk about Dragon's Dogma without talking about fucking Berserk. And talk about... Okay, because here's the thing. With Dragon's Dogma, because I'm going to fucking organize this right now.
Okay.
With Dragon's Dogma, I have such a love relationship with this game. And by love, I mean, like, I also love when this game kind of fucking just falls flat on its face.
Yep.
And just doesn't know what to fucking do.
Nope. No apologies given. They're just like, yep.
Not even an apology. It's just like this happy-go-lucky child that's just like, I got a sword!
And falls down, gets up.
It's that vine. What do you have?
A knife! No! Just goes running.
So
absolutely
that is Dragon's Dogma because
accurate.
like all of like the gameplay mechanics are so fucking good.
They're really good.
Like when I said that this was proto Monster Hunter World, is the fact that like you can jump onto the monsters, grab them, stab the shit out of them, and then like everything else. Like the other mechanic that I'm really super jazzed about is the fact that they added like a combo system from Devil May Cry into here.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was so fucked because, okay, you did dual swords.
Yes.
I did giant buster blades.
Oh, Jesus.
Because I was like, I'm going to be fucking Guts.
Yeah.
Whether or not this game allows me to be Guts.
Absolutely, though. That's fair.
So I was like, alright, I'm going to do that. And it's so satisfying.
Yes.
Because you launch people into the air and then you do an aerial combo.
That's why, like, they have so many different amazing combos with every single weapon. Like, I really don't think that there's a bad weapon, but if you prefer a type of fighting, you pick it and you love it. Like, no matter what your type of fighting is, you love what you pick. And I really feel like they just poured their heart and soul right into that combat.
They did.
Like, when you can roundhouse kick someone at the end, you just be like, bam! It's just so satisfying.
That being said, let me go ahead and talk about, like, my other love where they fall flat on their face, is the fucking story.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. It really does. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, this was like some berserk AU.
It really was.
Where, like, you know,
some fan fiction, written by a 13-year-old.
Yeah, like it's got interesting things about it.
Great premise. To be honest,
I like the premise too.
But you get to a certain point, and there's like this random guy who is missing an eye, and he's like, I'm part of the society. You do like one quest where they're like, yeah, this is the society, and you're like, stop it. And then you never see him again until the end. He's like, it's me again. And you're like, okay. And then the dragon just, like, it's very,
like,
it's not fleshed out.
It's not fleshed out. Like, the only thing that I will say is fleshed out, and I've only watched you play this, is the Dark Arisen DLC.
Oh my god. That's actually a really good DLC.
It's a really good DLC. It's
very frustrating.
Like, if that were just kind of like the
premise, like the whole,
if like maybe like, you know, there was these people who just got paired up with pawns or something like that. Like, that would have been fucking rad.
Yes.
But in the end, it kind of like, this was also during the time when like Skyrim just happened and every game was trying to fucking ape Skyrim.
Quick.
And like Dragon's Dogma, I felt like in development was not trying to be a Skyrim game.
They weren't.
And then it's just like, wait, Skyrim just happened. Make a dragon.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Yeah, make a dragon. And he's gonna be basically Alduin, but not Alduin.
Yeah, Alduin.
Gregory.
It's off-brand Alduin.
It is.
It is. Because the whole thing is like...
paint him red. Paint Alduin red. It's Gregory now. New guy.
So you can basically just go ahead and, like, you know, ignore the entirety of, like, the main quest and just fucking about for, like, the entirety of the game, much like in Skyrim.
Yes, yeah.
And that is just it, is that, like, I have such a bone to pick with, like, that kind of, like, narrative design.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what the fuck is he doing up in his fucking mountain? Is he just playing on his fucking Nintendo Switch? Just like, yo, I got a fucking... Battle Royale and Fortnite. Hell yeah, I got the Victory Royale. Like, what is he doing?
Is there someone coming to kill me? I don't care.
Yeah, it's a whole premise. Like, I mean, this idea that the dragon chooses someone. I mean, I love that premise. I love the whole chosen one thing. I love it. But like, you see the dragon like 3 times in the entire game, and I get that if you build it properly, it's like an ominous thing, and you're like, oh my god, like it's coming, the dragon. But in this one, you're just kind of like, oh shit, I forgot a dragon took my heart, and people think I forgot because I'm just I'm just like all these weird side quests, and it's the actual, not even side quest, the main story has so little to do with the dragon until you're like, oh crap, like.
Here's the other thing, though, is that, like, because this game came from Capcom, and, like, of course, you know, the same people responsible for Monster Hunter, which is why it's basically Monster Hunter, I'm also thinking, like, a similar game that has, like, that kind of, like, countdown clock of doom that, like, happened around the same time, which was Dead Rising. Oh, yeah, and they could have taken, like, that sort of countdown clock of fucking doom and be like, listen, you're not going to get to every side quest. You're going to have to be strategic about this. And, like, granted, that may have not been as much fun. It may have not been as Skyrim, but it still would have been interesting. Yeah. Like, the whole thing is like, as jank as, like, fucking Dead Rising is, like, the original Dead Rising, holy shit, do I love that mechanic? And it's just making me kind of, like, be strategic and be like, man, I should go take out the psychotic clown. Oh, fuck, this guy is going to die.
All these things.
I think that's the thing, is that there's, a difference in storytelling between something like a Skyrim and something like a Dragon Age. Particularly, you know, I'm going to go with Inquisition because I know that best. Like, you know, Dragon Age Inquisition really tries to lure you in with the story and the lore, you know, for lack of a better words. You know, it really tries to entice you to follow the plot threads along.
Yes.
Because there's political intrigue, there's this, that, and the other. And it's got a very cohesive and very interesting storyline in its, you know, the campaign.
It prompts you into the world and immerses you into it.
The writers work so very hard to immerse you in even the side quests, you know, have a lot to do with the main story. You know, there's other, you know, the romance options can kind of help lead you into that. You know, there's some of the side quests, not all of them, but some of them really kind of help lead you into that main storyline.
Yes.
And then there's something like a Skyrim where it's like, okay, this is the story, and boop, here you go
Just
do the thing.
Run around.
And I kind of feel like Dragon's Dogma falls, like, really a lot closer to the Skyrim than it does the Dragon Age style of story writing.
Yeah, and something that I appreciate about Dragon's Dogma, and I really wish, and I wanted to get into Dragon Age so badly, but the dual blades, like, after coming out of Dragon's Dogma,
it just doesn't feel as
slow.
good.
That's
I wish
fair.
they had taken, like, Dragon's Dogma and then given it the love and care that they did for Dragon Age in story. I mean, there are certain aspects of Dragon's Dogma that I think are cool. You just come over to this giant abandoned tower where there's a griffin that's nesting there, and you're like, what did this used to be? What was it? And they really just don't explain it. They're just like, yep, this was an ancient place.
And that's fucking cool.
And it's cool. You get this, like, eerie, like, wow, I'm really just, like, walking over civilizations that used to exist. That's cool. But the rest of the story and the whole land, like, they really do not prompt you. They tried to be this open world, and the side quests, you don't even know where to find them unless you look at a quest board and you're like, oh, I guess I can walk so-and-so halfway across the world. But it's incredibly slow trying to get around the world. You can't fast travel to anywhere unless you have the fairy stones, which you gotta find.
So that was the other thing about the PC port. They fixed that.
What?
Yeah, so now you basically just go ahead and, like, you have the fairy stone, like...
It's a fairy stone, and you just use it to go around?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking
It's
God.
an infinite use fairy stone.
What?
Yeah.
They didn't even, I don't even think they fixed that in the PS4
No,
version.
they
Son
didn't.
of a bitch.
But yeah, I think that's the thing is that, you know, with Dragon's Dogma, you know, you have these side quests that you know, are not necessarily even remotely related. And certainly Dragon Age has plenty of side quests that are not even remotely related to the storyline.
But it builds the world regardless.
Yeah, but and there's a lot of like
there's a point.
Yeah, in Dragon Age Inquisition, there's a lot of like side quests that are about like dealing with the Chantry and dealing with the politics of the region.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing is that I definitely feel like from watching Joe play and our hilarious endeavors of Ben Swollo and Swolo, which is incredible. It's like I feel more inclined in Dragon's Dogma to faff about like that.
Yes.
Just like in Skyrim, where, and I've established with my friend Vic and with Joe that I don't think there's anyone who's actually ever finished Skyrim. Actually, I'm almost 100% confident no one's actually ever played the storyline of Skyrim, because there's no incentive really to continue on with the story.
No.
And I kind of get that same feeling with Dragon's Dogma, like watching it play and playing along with Joe, is like, do I really have any incentive to do this? Any incentive to explore the world, or can I just faff about?
I'll tell you what the incentive is your romance. Because you can be gay, and that is like brilliant.
That is
right off the bat. But literally, I played this game with my roommate, and she was like, I love Kina. She is my angel.
Yeah.
I want to marry her. And I'm like, we're going to get you Kina. A different bitch came out at the end. And like, the complicated way that your love is like... There's so many rules. There's so many...
The fucking jester.
He's like, wah! Coming out. Like, there's so many stupid mechanics when it comes to that. And like, but that's a good... I mean, for me, moving through the game, you're like, okay, now I gotta make sure I do this by this point, or else she'll just never be in the game from this point on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was my... But again, you're looking this up online, and you're making sure you're following all the crazy rules.
Yeah.
If just for gameplay, it's like... You know, it's just like
it's just kind of like the dating sim where you have to
So the weird thing is like with Dragon's Dogma, and this is also another reason why I really like it, is like those emergent gameplay moments, which is part of the same reason why I love like BattleTech, where like, hey, like Decker just fucking died for no good reason.
Oh, yeah.
But when like fucking Dragon's Dogma, and I remember it was like the second time I played.
Yeah.
I came over to play at you and Sky's place.
Oh, yeah.
And I got really drunk. And I was playing on Sky's computer, and I loaded up my save and everything. And I get put in jail. And I was like, alright, I find the key, get out of jail. And I walk out, and I have like this brief moment pause, and I just turn around. And then I see the fucking jester. And we have this stare down for like 10 seconds. And I fucking kick him. And I keep on kicking him. And he's just like on the ground.
Oh,
and he's like, ah!
Amazing.
And that's just it. It's like, I love the fact that, like, these systems within Dragon's Dogma just kind of sometimes don't really know what to do.
They don't.
But at the same time, they create these wonderful moments.
It's a real meme of a game. Like, it just, there's so much that is wrong with it that you really just can't be mad at it because, I don't know, it's such a, I can't even say it's a love-hate. Even the things that are obnoxious and terrible, I'm just like,
love.
I just love
that's
it.
That's why I call it like a love game, where it's like,
Yes.
you kind of look at it and you're like, man, I got really mad at that, but also I was really happy that I got mad at that.
Yeah, like, it's really great. I do agree with you for the DLC thing that should have been the main story, because it's awesome. It would have, like, had such a great focus on the pawns. It explains the hell out of that a lot better than the
entirety of the main story.
The story's just like,
they just pop out.
They just pop out of these stones.
They pop out of these stones like pregnancy pop.
Yeah.
And then you could go ahead and make your own. You can make it look like you. You got a Ben Swollo. You got a Ben Swollo that looks like fucking tell me what's so. It's fine.
Now you're Swolo and Swolo Incorporated.
Oh my fucking god.
So, oh my god. Alright, I feel like we have gotten to the point with Dragon's Dogma. We're going to go ahead and take a short break.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back and talk about our after hours. So, be right back. Alright, we're back. So, we are going to be here to talk about our after hours activities. So, Brandy, what have you been up to in your after hours?
Well, I recently purchased a pack of amiibos, with Young Link from Majora's Mask, Twilight, don't look at me like that, Twilight Princess Link, and Skyward Sword Link. So this prompted me to restart Breath of the Wild. So I've been restarting Breath of the Wild and just kind of playing through that. Just kind of seeing, like, how perfect I can make the whole, like, attacking the story and stuff like that. And
like, make the run the most perfect run.
Yes, yeah, like, trying to be really efficient with getting the shrines around and stuff like that. So it's been fun. Other than that, I've been just dying with summer classes. I can't wait for them to be over. I got a 98 out of 100 on my paper, so
hell yeah, dude.
I almost cried with relief at work. I was like, ah! So that's almost over. One semester left of college, and I'm stressing about it every second that I get. Can't really think of. I don't think I've. Oh, we've been watching. I don't know if anybody watches World of Dance.
World of Dance?
Yeah, it's like a fucking mainstream.
Oh, is it on like Fox?
With J-Lo and.
Oh.
I'm obsessed with it. I love it. We've been watching that on Hulu, so.
You know,
it's good. It's pretty good. They got some good dancing stuff.
All right,
live your best life.
Yeah,
live your best life.
It makes me mad because J-Lo's just sometimes like,
just,
I don't think that's right. We're like, shut up, J-Lo. Let them go through. She's like, yeah. Everyone's like, J-Lo, they did great. Stop being weird. She's like, I have opinions. So
I have opinions.
Like,
I gotta be the Simon Cowell of this
yeah,
show.
basically. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do.
So, just so that way we kind of flesh out.
Yeah.
How, like, okay, this is maybe your third time playing through Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
How has it held up since playing it for about 3 times?
I was actually talking about this with my roommate. I really can't get past how much I love the Great Plateau beginning. Like, it really just immerses you in that, like, who am I? I have to survive in the wild. And I think I liked it a lot because there was no people.
Right.
And you're just in this, I don't know, something about restarting that game is so easy, which is strange because for a lot of Zelda games, I actually dread, I want to play the game, but going through the intro sequences, like, oh my god, just stop telling me how to play this game. Yeah. And of course, now with Breath of the Wild, they're just like,
okay,
oh, you found out how to shield surf. Congrats, and remember this for next time. And you're like, wow. So it's been really fun, just kind of replaying that and getting that like mystical vibe of like I can just go, and they're like, yeah, go climb that tree. And I'm like, I'm gonna climb the tree. I'm gonna set the tree on fire. I'm gonna cut the tree down. I'm gonna make an apple out of the fire. Like, it's crazy. It's really good. It's really good.
You know, that really makes me happy because I have been so hesitant to restart Breath of the Wild.
It's different for everybody,
Yeah,
but
it is.
Personally,
Yeah.
I love restarting it. I love that feeling, And it's actually later on when you're faced with the overwhelming size of the map.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I gotta get all the towers. I gotta remember all the shrines are. Oh my god, I'm gonna get the Korok seed that I forgot to get. And I had to go all the way back. So that gets like kind of stressful managing all that. But it is a challenge and it is fun. And it's not as overwhelming as when you first play it. But
that's good.
It's more of like a, how can I make this the perfect collection of everything? And then just like, how can I... That's what I like, because you really can make Breath of the Wild what you want it to be.
Yeah.
And, like, just kind of perfecting the way that you want to play the game.
Right.
It's just brilliant. It's brilliant.
You know, I think about it, you know, like, I totally agree with you with, like, the starting other Zelda games. Like, because I could probably do the Great Deku Tree in my sleep now.
Yeah.
Like, that map is, like, engraved into my brain because I don't know how many times I played it, but... enough times that like I could face Goma in my sleep. Same with Wind Waker too. You know, Goma in my sleep.
Absolutely.
You know, and yeah, it's really great that Breath of the Wild really allows you to just like pop in and go.
Yes.
You could do the Great Plateau in 15 minutes speed running.
Yeah,
but like maybe 30 minutes, but like it's not like your tutorial full 30 minutes. It's just like you can still kind of do whatever you want.
It's not like the game constantly like, you know, trying to be like, hey, you remember how to log on? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Now let me play the fucking game.
Yeah, and they don't try to make it with like, you know, like I was just noticing this when I played through it again. I was like, I really appreciate how Zelda will pop in and be like, go to the mark on your Sheikah slate.
That's
and then
it.
For the next hour, I ran around doing whatever the fuck I wanted to,
Yeah.
and then found it when I wanted to, and just kept going. They don't constantly like, hey, did you forget about that?
Yeah. Skyward Sword speed popping in every 5 seconds.
That's actually...
Master!
It's actually another thing that we did recently. We finally made it, because our roommate would fall asleep every time we tried to play Skyward Sword.
Which is fair.
Which is fair.
Which is fair, because it's a shitty game. It's a shitty game.
It's a terrible game. And... yeah, so we replayed that. We finally finished it. To be fair, we were all kind of reliving that thrill of like, wow. To be honest, we live for the cutscenes because they're full of so much emotion and they're so anime and they're like, oh, I'm gonna serve down. I'm look how angry my twink boy is. But yeah, so we replayed that recently and it was, I mean, terrible, obviously.
Obviously,
but made Breath of the Wild that much sweeter to just pick up again and be like, I'm
to be
free.
Like, yes, you gave this to
come
us.
back.
Thank you for bestowing
Time
this.
to go get struck by lightning and
thank you, Daddy Nintendo.
Yes.
All right,
Always.
so
Yeah.
before I go ahead,
I want that tattooed on my ass. Thank you, Daddy Nintendo. That's my fucking life.
Tell us what you've been doing.
Okay. Well, now that Brandy's brought it up, I really do want to replay Breath of the Wild
I
too.
know.
I just really love that you can do whatever you want with it, whatever kind of gameplay, and I want a Nintendo, Daddy Nintendo's cummies.
Oh my god.
So, what I've been doing, apart from training for a new job, which is fun and exhausting, but, you know, exciting.
Yeah.
I have been watching anime.
Perfection.
I kind of, like, go in and out of, like, not wanting to watch anime at all to, like, binging anime. Like, I kind of go in and out. Like, I'm never the type of person who's like, yes, I will regularly watch anime at a regular pace.
Yes.
I'm like, how about I binge all of Banana Fish?
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us about Banana Fish.
Yes. So,
where'd they get that name?
Banana Fish has it. So there's actually it's a plot device. So like you'll find out as you watch the anime. So there was an old 80s kind of action drama manga called Banana Fish, and it was very. It's not quite boys love BL, but it is. Kind of an inspiration to it. It is an anime. There is a manga that was kind of interesting, and it
ran for about like 10 years. Too.
Yes, it ran for about 10 years. It was really long form, following characters in kind of like the slums of New York, working with gangs and mafias, and dealing in drugs and violence and child abuse and stuff like that. So it's a little bit on the darker side of anime, but it was one of like the predecessors, like I said, to yaoi and BL.
Okay.
And being the bitch that I am, the gay dude that I am, that like craves that kind of like gay melodrama.
Like a little bit of like facial hair going there.
Yeah, I do. I do have some facial hair. Thank you. I crave gay melodrama, and I will say that for anyone who is interested, it does, because it is from the 80s, it does have a bit of kind of old, played out gay tropes.
Yeah.
A little bit, but like not as bad as a lot of other
Free.
Yeah, not as bad as Free, and not as bad as a lot of other BL. Some of the yaois and the BLs that I've subjected Joe and Brandy to. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, Brandy. Yeah, no. Inside joke among us is that I have subjected these two to some very terrible anime, and Brandy is currently crying because that is some PTSD, which this anime also tackles. So yes, it
does tackle it in a very good way too.
Yes. So this anime is kind of I think is only possible because Yuri on Ice has broken the ice. Broke the ice. This is now an anime adaptation that no one was expecting coming. And it kind of steps up this 80s action manga up into the new generation, a new age. They have smartphones now. It's still got that same kind of feel as an 80s action like melodrama.
Yeah.
But it really, it's so good. It's kind of hard to describe, but I will try to say that for those who are interested, it does kind of go at a breakneck pace. It does not try to dwell on anything for too long. So if you're ever worried about animes that have like a slow start, you won't have to worry about this.
That's good.
The weird name is actually, it's kind of a reference to one of the drugs in the show.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, it does deal with some, more mature content, violence, pornography, rape, definitely a lot. It doesn't explicitly show it. It's not as gory or gruesome as, say, Devilman Crybaby, which we have gone over in a previous episode. Yes. So I would say it's on the medium end, on the lower end of the graphic animes. But I'm living for it because, it's something new to, or at least bringing something fresh to the yaoi and the BL and that kind of genre.
Yeah.
Because I think for a lot of, yaoi fans or people who are just fans of queer depictions in anime, a lot of it's very stale.
Yeah.
A lot of typical BL anime is stale, slice of life, really terrible stereotypes, really terribly played out. And this one, I'm only, 3 episodes in, but, the depictions of these gay characters are, very realistic and very, intricate and interesting, and I just really want to know more. Good. And I really hope that this anime takes off. This kind of brought me back into watching some other animes that I really won't really note, because I've just been watching a lot of other animes that I'm like, this sucks, this one sucks, this one sucks, this one sucks. I think do we have any other animes that I think we've kind of glossed over recently that we could talk about?
Not really. I mean, like, a lot of the anime... Okay, so just to kind of, like, touch upon Banana Fish.
Yeah.
Because, like, you talking a lot about, like, their gay depictions and stuff. And me, like, the whole thing was, I, like, everything about Banana Fish.
Yeah.
Like, if you put it on paper, it's like, this is a Joe anime.
I was thinking that when you were describing, like, it's in New York, and it's this.
Yeah.
And I was like, that sounds
so
like Joe.
Here's the thing, is that, like, I think the thing that turned me off and I'm not sure if it really is or if it's because I'm thinking too hard about it, is the fact that, like, the dude leading, like, all the gangs in New York is a white dude.
Yeah, as a note, it is a Japanese depiction of New York.
Yeah, so that's just it, is that, like, I feel like that's the thing that kind of, like, is, like, stopping me from getting completely invested.
Yeah, and I will say that, to say that it's, like, a Japanese depiction of New York is not, like, a bad thing. Like, if you're used to Hollywood's depiction of New York, you're fine. Yeah. If you are used to New York as it is, as you know it to be, as Joe might know it to be, coming from the Bronx, you have this is not gonna enthrall you because, the main character is, like, white and is, like,
and they touch upon that even in the anime.
Yeah, they actually do touch upon it in the anime. That's like, oh, this white boy actually has, like, control over the gangs. I don't know how he does it, but he does. So he collaborates with the mafia and the gangs and kind of keeps them all at bay and, like, playing, like, not having turf wars kind of thing. But yeah, it is a little bit unrealistic because he is a white boy.
So, I was talking about this with you, where I was like, hey, like, because they did update this from, like, the 80s material, incorporating smartphones, incorporating things like that. And I was saying, like, well, why didn't they just do the Megalobox thing and just make, like, the fucking one blonde dude, like, like Joe from Megalobox.
Yeah, where the original Joe from the original manga
was like an American Japanese dude.
It's an American Japanese dude, whereas Megalobox Joe is very much Hispanic looking. Like, he is very, very much Latinx. I don't think anyone is ever, like, looking at that Joe like he's white. Like, no.
Exactly.
He's tan.
And that was the whole thing, is, like, that's the reason why I like Megalobox so much more than Ashido no Joe. Yeah. Because it was like, yo, that's me! Yeah. That's me!
Yeah, they really pumped up the diversity.
So with Banana Fish, I was kind of, like, knowing the fact that it was adapted from, like, that sort of material, but they didn't really update that particular part, and I know why, because it's like, I look at, like, the fucking, dude from Banana Fish, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking marketable. Oh, I want to fucking
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. That's the other draw that I definitely, like, caught with Banana Fish, is, like, the one who is the main character is the blonde boy, and he is cute fuck. Basically, you need a visual, like, in your head. The main characters are a blonde boy who looks like Yurio from Yuri on Ice, but grown up. Yep. And the other male lead is grown up Yuri from Yuri on Ice. Like, it is literally Yuri and Yurio, and it's super hot, and they're super cute. Like, it's totally marketable. And I don't think that you could replace that blonde pretty boy.
I don't think you can, but at the same time, I feel like there might have been a way. Like that's just it. Is that, like, because I'm also thinking about, like, fucking Joe from Megalobox. I want to go to bed with him.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. But I think as far as boys love as a genre goes, you always gotta have that one male lead who's got the blonde hair. I think. Brandon, like, every
seems
BL,
to be in the formula. For
every BL has to have that cute blonde lead. Okay,
But the thing I want to kind of, like, inject there, as far as, like, the kind of I guess conversation, is that it really does depict, like, gay love in a certain way that, like, I'm not used to BL. In that, like, the love between, like, the Yurio and Yuri. Because I forgot their fucking names. Yeah. But,
Banana and Fish.
It's Ash and Eiji.
So them.
Nice names.
Like, it really is, like, this kind of, like, quiet understanding. Like, even when they have the head touch. And they're like, you know what you gotta do.
Yeah, it's not... To say that it's not overt ignores a lot of the overtness that they do show.
And the other thing that I also do like is that with regards to rape and with regards to, like, things like that, I apologize, I should provide a trigger warning for that, but with regards to that, they always treat that as it's traumatic. it's not good.
Yeah. And I guess I will put in the trigger warning now as well, because we've glossed over it, but part of this does pertain to child pornography specifically, and forced child pornography. It's never shown. It's tastefully done, I would say, but it is in fact actually triggering to the character in question.
Okay.
And that's the good thing.
Is it actually shows that PTSD and that triggering moment.
Yeah.
So it's not playing to that, like, I hate to say it, but, like, you know, that fucking, like, you know, BL sort of trope of, like, you know, oh, rape fantasy. It's like...
Yeah. It's not... This isn't rape fantasy. This isn't...
It's more like... No, that shit was horrible. I don't want that to happen to me.
Yeah. It's not berserk levels of like shock factor. None of the triggers in this anime are for shock factor. They are for establishing these characters and really establishing who they are and what their, you know,
what their motivations are.
Yeah, what their motivations are.
That's good.
It's not just their weaknesses. It's also kind of what their strengths are too.
Good.
So definitely you might want to include some sort of description in the description.
Oh no, I'm definitely going to go ahead and do like the trigger warning and stuff, but also...
but I think if you are able to and you're interested, like, give it a watch. Like, even if like the subject matter seems iffy to you, give it a chance if you can, because it is really interesting how they deal with that PTSD.
Yeah.
So I will say, like, after discussing it a little bit more, even though, like, the thing that kind of like held me off was like the fact that I was a white dude, like, you know, controlling the gangs in New York. The fact that it handles rape really well, I'm like, never mind, it's kind of hooking me in now.
Yeah, buddy.
Anyway.
So that's what we're going to be doing with the rest of our week, huh, Joe? So what have you been doing?
So I held this off from like last week because I've been playing like a bunch of different games, and a lot of those different games have like different sort of like takes on it. For now, because I'm with friends... let's talk about the funny thing. Fortnite. So, like, I don't like PUBG. Like, I played it once, and I'm like, this is, not even that it's boring, nothing about it is really drawing me. Nothing about it is really making me going ahead and be like, I gotta play this fucking game all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
But with Fortnite, and I downloaded it on my phone, and that was just it. It's like I played it once, and I was like, I don't fucking care. But then I play it on Switch, which is on my favorite console now. It's like, oh no! So the thing is like, I'm kind of really drawn to, like, you know, the knockoff Pixar DreamWorks, like, aesthetic. Like, I'm really drawn to, like, that fucking Team Fortress 2 aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's so cartoony, it's so over the top, and, like, the fact that they kind of run with that, it's so good. And then they start season 5, and they have, like, a fucking cyberpunk Kitsune mask.
Oh, man.
My
brand!
My brand!
Yeah, Joe spent so many hours going after that Kitsune mask, and he did it. He got it.
Yeah. I got it. I fucking got it. And that was just it, is that, like, the things about this game that I was not expecting to really enjoy was, like, one, the gameplay, like, the actual... Listen, you're in a battle royale, you're going to go ahead and fight, like, 99 other people, and you're going to go ahead and try to wind up on top. And with PUBG, I didn't fucking care. And part of it, I feel like, is that because the map was so big. Like, you could go, like, even if you were trying, you could go so long without finding another person.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of other people will come to me and be like, you know, well, there are these hotbed areas, and it's like, yeah, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing is like, yeah, I gotta be strategic. I gotta go to where other people aren't, and then grab the weapons there, and then go to where the people are, and then fucking mow them down.
Yeah, if you just go into the hotbed place, you're just gonna get, you know, fucking shifted.
Yeah, you're gonna get fucking dead. And with Fortnite, the map is smaller. The map, goes ahead and encourages, like, you to fucking, like, find another person, shoot them, and then everything else.
Yeah. Well, and it has more hotbeds, too. It's not just, like, 1 or 2 areas. It's
exactly. It's so good. And that, like, playing it more and then, like, just digesting it more, I'm like, oh, shit, they really do understand this genre way better than I was expecting.
Yeah.
And the more I played it, I was like, oh, this is good game design. Oh, no. And then I kept on playing it, and then eventually, like, I just went ahead and just dived head first and was like, fuck it, I'm buying the Battle Pass.
Oh my god.
It was like, and I feel like that was the other thing, is, like, this game being free to play, being the fact that it offers a lot of the shit, like, just like, hey, listen, you don't need to pay a dime to get this fucking particular, like, part of the game.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's fucking awesome. And like, oddly enough, it reminded me a lot of the reason why I love, like, things like MapleStory. Because I was like, MapleStory, like, that was so much fun. I loved it. It was like, a side-scroller beat-em-up, and it was, like, really cool. And then playing Fortnite, I'm like, oh, man, this is like playing, like, fucking Metal Gear Solid 5. And so the other thing I've been doing with this game, and I'm not sure if a lot of other people do it with this game because I got the Battle Pass, you get these sort of achievements. Mm-hmm. And you get these per week. And a lot of these achievements usually don't include you killing other dudes. So you kind of got to be stealthy in how you do these achievements.
Like the dancing for the cakes.
Yeah, the dancing for the cakes. So if you dance in front of a cake, it's like, it takes like a thing. It's like you dance in front of 4 cakes. And you got to find like the other 6 cakes. And the other one that I really liked was, like, the basketball emoji. Because you can shoot a basketball, and there are basketball courts around, like, the fucking island.
Right.
So you have to find these 6 different courts.
Yeah.
And you have to be stealthy about it, because otherwise some fucking asshole will shoot you. And it'll be like, I just was trying to do the Chivo, you fucking cunt.
Please, just let me shoot my hoops.
Yeah, so there's other ways to be rewarded other than, just shooting other players and getting winner, chicken dinner, or victory royale, as it were. You have to do other things to, get experience points. And sometimes it's like fun, stupid things, like finding a birthday cake because it's the 1-year anniversary of Fortnite, and and then playing a little jig. Or, like, playing golf on the, like, mini golf course and putt-putt. Nice. Like, you can play other fun, stupid things. And other people might join in on the fun.
Oh,
so,
okay.
That's just it. Is that, like, so there is this one story I have. Because when M was at work, and I was trying to get the Chivo for, finding 7 ammo crates in a single match.
Oh, wow.
So, most of the time, you go into a hotbed where it's like, hey, like, there's gonna be a bunch of ammo crates.
Yeah.
You're gonna get fucking shot.
Yeah.
You're gonna get fucking killed. So I went to, like, a fucking offshoot of the map. And I'm like, alright, I'll find about, like, 2 or 3 here, and then I can just go over to the spot.
Yeah.
So I do go over to that spot. And I find this other dude. And I dance in front of him.
Oh my god.
And he dances too.
Yes!
And there is this, like, kind of, like, silent understanding, because then I go inside, and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna, like, unlock this crate so I can get the XP.
Yeah.
He doesn't shoot me still.
Oh, good.
And then I go to the ammo crate, because I don't pick up anything.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for the fucking ammo crates.
Yeah.
So I go to the ammo crate, I unlock that too. He still doesn't shoot me.
You're like, wow.
And no, there is, like, this really silent understanding, like, oh, you're not here to really, like, shoot people.
Oh, he's doing a different thing.
Yeah, and it was so fucking rad. Like, there was honestly something so fucking cool about that. Like, this dude was, like, actually kind of guarding me.
Yeah, he's like, look, hey, leave the kid alone. He's trying to do some stuff.
And it's important to note that because Joe's playing Fortnite on the Switch, he can't communicate on voice chat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is usually good because 12-year-olds.
Like, that's just the other thing I like about it, is that it kind of makes it into, like, this sort of journey-style, like, game.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I can't communicate with you. We can only communicate through emotes. Yes. And that's about it. And I like, there's something about that sort of communication that I find super fucking rad.
It is, yeah. I
agree. I really find that, like, super fucking cool, where it's like, you kind of gotta be, like, strategic about, like, well, what emote am I gonna do? Or, like, what is gonna convey, like, either I'm trolling you, or, hey, I'm not here to cause a problem.
Please don't kill me, good sir.
But, yeah, he, like, guarded me, and then when the storm came, he fucking left, because, of course, he was playing the game.
Yeah.
But, like, the fact that he fucking guarded me while I was looking for these ammo crates was like, dude, I think this game might actually be good.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, oh my god, like, this game might actually be way better than my experience with Fortnite, or not Fortnite, PUBG.
Yeah.
Where it was like, everybody's here to fucking murder you.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
So that has been the majority of my after hours so far. And I have loved every minute of it. I've got the fucking Kitsune mask. So I'm super stoked.
Just styling.
God. Listen. If I'm going to play a game, I'm going to play it the way I want to look. The way I want to look, I want that vaporwave aesthetic.
It's like a weeb.
I love it.
So
Anyway, so that about does it for this week's episode of Paragade After Hours. Brandy.
Yes.
Where can we find you on the internet?
I guess Instagram. It's now Brandy Wines. I think I have an S at the end. I just changed it. It used to be Glitter Whiskey, and after years
of glitter
whiskey. Yeah, no, just Brandy Wine. So Bran and then BI, because I'm bi as fuck, and then wine will be my Instagram. So hit me up if you want to look at pictures of my cat. That's all I do. Just take pictures of my damn cat.
He's a good cat.
He's a weird cat.
He's a bad cat, but he's a terribly handsome cat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where can we find you on the internet?
So, I usually stream on Twitch when I feel like it at Mael Ecology.
Nice.
Yeah, Mael Ecology on Twitch. Cool. I also have Mael Ecology on YouTube and Twitter, where I maybe sometimes post things. So, yeah, that's what I do.
Sweet.
And then, of course, me. Just Joe Stars at Twitch. I'm Just Joe Let's Play at Twitter. And then here on Paragade, where I go ahead and post podcasts, I'll go ahead and start posting links to my Twitter, because that's where I'm going to go ahead and post, like, updates to this podcast as well.
Nice.
But yeah, that's where you can mostly find me. I stream once a week on Mondays, doing Mecha Mondays.
Nice.
Where I go ahead and play some mecha fucking video games until I finally get tired of those. Spoilers, I probably won't.
No, you won't.
Especially once Daemon X Machina comes out.
Yep. Once that comes out, it's all over for all of us.
It's all over, because that's all I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be like, yo, did they know they, like, input the white glint into this fucking game? And then everybody's going to be like, Joe, I never want to hear about this fucking game ever again. I'm going to be like, too fucking bad.
Well, before this becomes a fucking Mecha Mondays podcast.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening. It really does mean a lot for anybody who does listen and, like, you know, goes ahead and is like, hey, I'm queer. I like video games. Or, like, hey, I'm drunk. I also like video games. It's super rad that, like, people actually like this podcast and sometimes listen. So, as always, tip your waiters 50%.
Amen.
Good night.